Well, let's get to this video. Lil Dicky's fake rap career is more successful than his real rap career. Real rap career. Lil Dicky is cool. Back then, of course, I ain't listened to Lil Dicky in a minute. You know, probably since like, I think it was a song after Freaky Friday, which was a long time ago. But by Apache CC, you know this shit gonna be good. What's his thumbnail looking like? All right, cause you know, I'm gonna copy it ish. I always make my own thumbnails, but you know, I get inspiration on the thumbnails that's already in the video. Before the video. Let's get to it.
White rappers are usually labeled as corny when they enter the music industry. Many rappers have this cool mystique about them, which attaches a persona to complement the extraordinary lifestyle they live and rap about. Often when white rappers try to create this cool persona, it comes off as inauthentic and is rejected by the masses, which then leads to artists like Lil Dicky, who lean into the white rapper stereotype to ironically find a place in hip-hop. Now make no mistake, Lil Dicky is undoubtedly a talented rapper. What we didn't realize is that his life story of being an out-of-place suburban white dude reaching the pinnacle of the industry would make for way better television than music. His show Dave on FX, which is essentially about his life story, is absolutely dominating right now. But because of the success of his show, Dicky has only released 2 songs in the past 8 years.
This song right here.
Success of his show, Dicky has only released 2 songs.
Yeah, this one. Well, 4. Yeah. This is the last song I heard of him. So he said only make 2 songs, which is wild.
Songs in the past 8 years. This is going to create a whole new set of problems for Dave, and if he doesn't make the right choices, his career will be in a dangerous position. A few months before Lil Dicky released his first song, his girlfriend and parents begged him not to pursue a rap career. On a vacation in Hawaii, they told him his music was too racy, too edgy, and that this music would potentially ruin his potential for getting jobs in the future. In hindsight, the only reason he has a job now is because of this music. In late 2012 and early 2013, Dicky was preparing to release his debut mixtape called So Hard. He was now 24, 2 years out of college, living in San Francisco and working at an ad agency. All of his extra money and free time was spent producing a rollout for this mixtape, but this tape was actually the beginning of his plan to become a comedian. He loved rapping, but he thought it would be easier to get attention through music since there wasn't much competition in the comedy rap space. Then he would use that attention to move on to his actual dream.
I was going to make a very serious attempt at being like an entertainer one day, most likely a comedian. And like when I graduated college, I thought about the best way to approach that. And I thought rap was an interesting angle because I could be just as funny as I always could be, in my opinion, but you could get noticed way easier. There's way fewer competitors. Like I didn't see anybody in the comedic rap space.
His plan was to release a visual or piece of content every single week for 5 months straight. This was obviously risky, spending that much time, effort, and money on a rollout before ever releasing a single song. Lucky for him, his very first song went viral. On April 25th, 2013, Lil Dicky released his first music video for the song Ex-Boyfriend. And this was barely a song. It was a story. Lil Dicky got into a romantic relationship with a girl, and the night they were going to sleep together, they bumped into her ex-boyfriend. He thought the ex was a borderline perfect male specimen that Dicky could not compete with. A whole verse was dedicated to how nice this guy's penis was. Make sure you're drinking water while I tell you about today's sponsor, Underdog Fantasy, the best place to play fantasy sports.
But I think I remember that video. Hold on, I actually want to hear it too.
White rappers are usually labeled as corny.
Shit. Oh, I just want to hear.
Big blow, shot it really fun, man. Get a lot of hoes, but none of those come close. I swear it's the most that I felt so damn exposed. Oh yeah, there's one more thing, and I know this shit gonna sound insane, but I still haven't hit it out.
I thought I heard it, but nah, I ain't heard it before. Nah, I ain't heard it.
See and get those picks in. Thanks, Underdog Fantasy. Dicky decided to ditch the girl to prevent himself from disappointing her until she ran after Dicky and told him not to worry since they dated in the 2nd grade, and Dicky got to smash. The song got shared on Reddit, which would ultimately get pushed to the front page, and as a result, the video got over 1 million views in the first 24 hours. He drove all the traffic from this video to his website to download the full mixtape. So Hard was 17 tracks long. Most of those were remixes over really popular beats or stolen YouTube beats. Most people go viral and don't know what to do, or they have nothing to follow it up. But as we know, Dicky had 5 months of content that was ready to be released. He dropped Staying In, Sports, Jewish Flow, and Too High, which all generated millions of views in the first few days of release. All of his songs were rooted in a great degree of irony, like his song Too High, which starts off by him saying, "Every rapper got a track about smoking weed, so I didn't really have a choice." Through these tracks, we got to know that he was a goofy suburban Jewish kid who was a serial masturbator and obsessed with the idea of getting laid. It's great to finally see a rapper that doesn't take himself so seriously. Dicky approached rap more like comedy. He understood people were going to make fun of him in the rap game, so he just beat them to the punch. Self-deprecating humor is a go-to strategy for a lot of comedians. It's an easy way to secure some laughs when you say what other people are thinking. Plus, it gives you the perception of being humble and trustworthy. He also wasn't afraid to make a racy or edgy song/music video. As we know, a big part of comedy is riding a thin line of controversy. A lot of comedians are constantly trying to push the limits to get their audience to laugh at the things that they're traditionally not supposed to laugh at. Dicky was not afraid. Lots of haters out there. Listen to a little bit more of his music. He's super talented, and the sense of humor brings some much needed light air to rap music. There's no way you can say he's not amazingly talented lyrically.
Hey, first of all, what's really funny is how the rest of you rap. If I mumble something dumb about me running the trap, then it'll be another young redundancy who muttering crap.
Dicky even got praise for his rapping ability in a tweet from Kevin Durant, who was the first celebrity to publicly endorse the rapper. But despite his successful rollout, Dicky was broke. He put all of his content out for free, and using stolen beats was never going to allow him to make money anyways. So he asked his followers for money. This YouTube video titled Kickstarter was uploaded, where he announced the launch of his Kickstarter campaign. Dicky explained that the crowdfunded money would be used for studio time, purchasing original beats, high-quality music videos, and financing his first tour.
The more money I get, the more outlandishly extravagant these videos can become. I could blow things up, get elephants, blow an elephant up. You know, like guts flying everywhere. I wouldn't actually blow up an elephant. You know, I've long valued what the elephant meant to our Earth.
Evidently, his fans wanted to help him with his vision. After 2,800 donations, his Kickstarter generated $113,000, which was plenty of money for him to make his dreams a reality. His first show ever, he sold out the Theater of Living Arts in Philadelphia, which is his hometown. From there, he had a few more sold-out shows. He moved to LA, continued to drive his 2002 Toyota Avalon, and had the comfort of preparing his next big release. His visuals from here got way more high quality, noticeably in the song Let Me Freak. This cinematic experience accompanies Dicky's lyrics of basically begging a girl to have sex with him every day until he is in his 90s. This was our first real insight into what he could look like on the big screen. He executed the vision flawlessly. Also, during the live performance of this song, he would invite girls on stage to give them a lap dance.
Here you go. Thanks for allowing that. Yeah. Don't press charges.
From September 2014 until July 2015, he
big
basically
ass
toured
shorts, nigga.
non-stop, selling out bars and fraternities all over the country. But he promised his Kickstarter community an album, and he had to deliver something big. July 31st, 2015, Lil Dicky released his 20-track independent album, Professional Rapper. The title track acted as his introduction into the rap game, where he is essentially interviewed by Snoop Dogg. This song paired with a high-budget animated video which could be easily mistaken for a real show. In the song, Dicky tries to convince Snoop that he is going to change the rap game, to provide a different perspective and flair than most rappers. He also secured some other pretty big features like T-Pain and Brendan Urie. But Dicky knew he had a hit on his hands when he landed a feature with Fetty Wap and Rich Homie Quan, who was absolutely dominating the radio in 2014 and
hold on. When the fuck did this happen? Lil Dicky? Ex Fetty? Ex Quan? Look at that. You know that shit gotta been hard.
2015. Save That Money was an ironic twist on a 2-decade trend of every rap song talking about spending money. The music video took this to the next level, where he went door to door and asked filthy rich people if he could use their mansions, cars, and yachts for his music video without paying them. The budget for the video was $0, which was a genius move that landed him a lot of press and was a catalyst to the video getting hundreds of millions of views. This song would ultimately chart at number 71 on the Billboard Hot 100 and got a lot of new eyes on him. The frat boys who were turning up to classic male pregame absolutely loved this album, but the broader hip-hop audience had a hard time deciding what value Dicky was bringing to the game. His comedy was about as funny as your goofy parody movie or newer Adam Sandler film, but when he was serious, it came off kind of confusing, like on the track The Antagonist, where he basically talks about how he doesn't like his funny music and doesn't listen to funny music. He thinks his serious music in his archives is going to change the world, which just seemed kind of odd to denounce the very thing he was known for, and that his fans loved him for. Also, instead of talking about this greater music that you have, why not just release it on your debut album and find out if it's really as great as you think it is? Dicky still had to prove to the mainstream he was worth paying attention to, because we didn't know if we should consume his music seriously or laugh at his Weird Al Yankovic / Lonely Island style. One thing we know for sure is Charlemagne wasn't impressed.
The shit I'm making's always tight as like a
Because
yoga.
Charlemagne always got some shit to say. Even though I fuck with Charlemagne, that nigga always got something to say. Like, nobody else but fucking Charlemagne says shit that you do not want to hear. But sometimes he be correct. That's the fucking thing about him. He be correct. 80% of the time. 80%.
They all up in the other boat, that's why I'm overboard. That was a hot bar though. The shit I'm making always tight as like a yoga store.
Now, his interview actually gained him a lot of sympathy because people thought Charlemagne was being rude and disrespectful towards him because he's a white rapper. Not sure if that's exactly what Dicky wanted, but views are views. In 2016, he started getting more mainstream attention after he was part of the star-studded XXL freshman list cover. He was also landing major brand sponsorships with Trojan, EA Sports Madden, and Beats by Dre. When he did freestyles on radio stations, he knew he was going to be broadcasted to true hip-hop fans, so he would try his best to impress them.
Hey, that's a good ass life. Only thing I got left, find a good ass wife. But yo, I gotta hit these hoes first. Don't tell mom. In a year, I'ma bend over Michelle Obama. Oh, they was sleeping, but now they awake. Izzy or Drizzy or Louis C.K. If he was both of them bitches with both of them businesses, shit would be crickety crack.
By 2017, he had already toured all over the world and was living the professional rapper lifestyle to the highest degree. He reached new cinematic heights with the visual for his song Pillow Talking, which was a 10-minute roller coaster of a conversation Dicky had with a girl after they got done having sex.
Oh yeah, this was fire. If y'all niggas remember this shit, this was actually pretty fire. I like when it came out, 6 years ago. That ass. Oh, yeah. Well, that shit was hard.
Talking with a bitch. I'm like, girl, that was great. Talk about a connection.
I ain't gonna watch the whole thing. Y'all got to watch that shit on your own time.
Of a conversation Dicky had with a girl after they got done having sex. They go from small talk to politics to aliens.
And
to
I would
God
say, then
to
the animations and it was good. It was good.
This video was very ambitious and made a 10-minute track feel a lot more like a short film than a song. In fact, it was the 49th most expensive music video ever made, landing somewhere around $700,000. The high expense likely came from the CGI soldiers, dinosaurs, and feature from Brain, which is an animated character voiced by Dicky. Brain easily stole the show because he was adorable and undeniably cool. His animation was done flawlessly and provided some comic relief from the extremely awkward and chaotic conversation. He even ended up releasing a whole mixtape as Brain, which was a cult classic for his fans. Around the same time that this video dropped, he had another big announcement that he was working on a TV show. But it takes so long to develop that you won't really see any of that for like a year and a half, but it's in the works. In this interview with XXL, Dicky also mentioned that he didn't like to rush through his creative process. Most people rush for the sake of money or fear of falling off, but Dicky has an extremely modest lifestyle, positive money-saving habits, and no kids or family to provide for. Plus, his audience is extremely loyal, so he can afford to take large breaks to focus. I think my TV show is going to be my big thing, so I'm pretty focused on that, and I think doing that will lead to all of the other opportunities I want. This couldn't be more true. However, Dicky still had some noise to make before he would fully make the transition. Dicky was watching the movie Freaky Friday, the Lindsay Lohan version, when he thought, what if I switched bodies with a singer that could dance? Since Chris Brown was one of the first artists to show him support, he knew he was the perfect candidate for the job. Freaky Friday was a song about what Lil Dicky would do if he woke up in Chris Brown's body. He said he would FaceTime Kanye West, sing, dance, and say the N-word. Then, Chris Brown woke up and was Lil Dicky, which he obviously hates, and tried to do anything he could to get back into his own body. Even though the concept was inspired by a movie that was then rebooted, Dicky received praise for his creative genius, since it never had been done in music form.
Yo, don't sleep on Lil Dicky. I can see Lil Dicky like in a show. I could see just the way he be acting. Like I could see him in like
OG fucking Dante. Oh, I miss OG Dante. Even though Dante still good, like any period of time, Dante is still good.
A TV show. I don't know what type of TV show, but I don't know. He's very funny. I would watch a Lil Dicky TV show.
However, Chris Brown's performance and acting easily stole the show, and cameos from Ed Sheeran and Kendall Jenner helped for the memes. The song peaked at number 8 on the Billboard Hot 100, and Lil Dicky was a certified mainstream success. He thought his next song, Earth, was going to top everything he had done before, but unfortunately, that was not the case. He spent $4 million producing this Pixar/Disney level animated production. The intention of this song was to raise money for charity and discuss the dangers of climate change. This song had an all-star cast of 28 different celebrities and singers portraying characters, as well as singing a line or two. Some of those included Ariana Grande as a zebra, Miley Cyrus as an elephant.
But yeah, you know damn well niggas would not give a fuck about no climate change. Like we... You know, niggas really don't care. So he should have been knew that at that time, which was like 4 years ago. It was 4 years ago. 2019? 2018?
Shawn Mendes as a rhino, Snoop Dogg as a weed plant, and Kevin Hart as Kanye West.
And I'm Kanye West.
The song peaked at number 17 on the Billboard Hot 100, but it failed to do anything more substantial than provide a few memes. Even for Lil Dicky, this seemed like a terribly unfunny Disney promotional trailer that celebrities participated in to pat themselves on the back and pretend like they care about the earth. The saddest thing about this song is, this is the last major single that Lil Dicky has released since 2019. And the reason for that? Because his dream of being a Hollywood star was about to come to fruition, as season 1 of his show Dave was announced to release in early 2020. Everyone, when's the new album? Dave, yo, here's my new show. Initially, fans were disappointed, but with the pandemic about to settle in, they didn't realize they were about to love this next step for Dicky. Dave premiered on FX on March 4th, 2020. The show focuses on a slightly fictionalized version of Lil Dicky's life. He plays himself as a suburban man in his 20s that is entirely convinced that he is destined to be the greatest rapper of all time. His show is a lot like his music. The performances are great, the quality is top-notch, but it's really just for fun and to make people laugh. Dave is complimented in the series by his 2 real-life friends, Andrew Santino, a prolific stand-up comedian, and Gata, his hype man. Just between these 3, you have a pretty lovable and entertaining cast. Where Dave really sets itself apart is by immersing the viewer into the world of being a rapper. They do this by securing successful rappers and influential people within the music industry to play cameos in the series. Just to name a few from the first season, Young Thug, Gunna, Trippie Redd, Charlamagne Tha God, Justin Bieber, and more. Dave gave rappers an opportunity to try acting, even if they are only playing themselves. It still puts them in unique situations which are fun for viewers. For example, you would have never got to watch a Lil Dicky awkwardly accept a blunt from Young Thug.
Hey guys, you mind if we join?
Sure.
Thank you.
The series is riddled with moments like these which honestly make it entertaining, and because of it, the show was an instant success. 2 months after its premiere, Dave became the most watched comedy series in FX history, averaging 5.3 million viewers per episode. Following this monumental success, they were renewed for a second season and started...
some things kind of like, what's the word? Kind of confuse me. Cause how in the fuck? Cause I know they probably got some good ass FX shows. I could probably name a couple. But how this one beats every single one of them? And them
Filming
bitch and
immediately.
them
The
other
second season follows
FX
a
shows
similar
look good as
format as the
hell.
first, just a bit darker. Speckled in between the dick jokes, Dave deals with the internal struggles of fame and notoriety. Just like the first season, there are many more celebrity cameos like Lil Yachty, Kevin Hart, Lil Nas X, Denzel Curry, and others. The second season received an average score of 84 from critics on Metacritic, being praised for its deeper character development and feeling of progress coming from the first. In February of 2022, Dave was renewed for its third season. This is the most recent season that premiered on April 5th, 2023, and they are currently still being released. The season has been received well so far. The rapper continues to bear all across the country in a show that remains as humorous as it is illuminating. It's safe to say the show will continue to perform well in the foreseeable future. It's a unique combo of rap, juvenile humor, and relatable personal struggle that can entertain adults and youth alike. It's this show that exemplifies very well that Dave Bird, above all else, is an entertainer. And although fans have been begging him to release another album in his comment sections, it looks like they will not get one. Aside from the songs that are in the show, it's unclear if Dicky will ever return to music. After all, his goal from the very beginning was to use rap as a vehicle for his Hollywood dreams. I mean, these days he says he doesn't even resonate with the name Lil Dicky anymore. Like, he actually kind of hates it. You see, the interesting thing about Lil Dicky is he's been telling the same exact story for the past 10 years. In 2013, when he released his mixtape, we pretty much got to know everything we needed to know about him. He's a neurotic, self-deprecating, average suburban Jewish guy who likes dick jokes and can rap a little bit. The rest of his music career was just improved technical rapping ability and higher quality visuals, which would basically make Professional Rapper the studio quality, polished version of the So Hard mixtape. His singles that he released after the album were less introspective and more just about his status as a celebrity. Then he spent the next 5 or 6 years retelling that same exact story from the beginning with his show Dave. His life basically stopped in 2019, so he could tell his life.
Well, that is a good idea, cause they got it in music form, but they get to see it, like with their eyes instead of their ears. He's smart. He's smart with it. That's smart.
Story
really
since
smart.
2013.
Honestly.
And what he has done since 2019 is spend 15 hours per day nonstop working on this show, because he's involved with the writing, producing, directing, acting, and editing the final product. Lil Dicky's show is about being a famous rapper, but he hasn't been a famous rapper for the past 4 years. So after season 3 ends, what will he do? Are there more stories to tell? In his interview with Caleb Pressley from Barstool Sports, who is known for his outlandish questions and meme-filled moments, everyone thought Dave would thrive in that environment, but the whole time he was incredibly confused. Like, he couldn't understand what was a joke and what wasn't, which led to fans being disappointed. Not going to lie, I expected Lil Dicky to be one of the best episodes, but he gave you nothing.
I always thought, like, I'm like the comedic voice of my generation.
Now, he says this, but he was dry as a bone when faced with somebody who does have a comedic voice in 2023. What Dave decides to do from here is very important. He has lasted a decade on the same story. Is he capable of producing something other than his own life experience? Will he go back to rapping as a 35-year-old? Can he prove himself as the comedic voice of our generation, or will he be stuck in limbo?
Hey, but that nigga got money. See, I tell everybody this. If I make money, say if I get $1 billion right now, 80%, I'm leaving this and I'm gone. That other 20% is if I love this. I love doing this. But $1 billion. Nigga, I gotta do shit for the rest of my fucking life. That can be $1 billion is like generational for me, cause I wouldn't really spend it like on no expensive shit. Cause I don't need no big ass house. No, all I want is a nice gated house. Big scat, big wide body scat, nigga. That's all I need. That's all I need, bro. With a Tesla, and that's it.